This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, this is the Finance Committee of Council. It's March 2nd, 7:02. Present are all of council, including committee members Schuman, Broussard, and Kelly. Council President, the mayor, directors Lieber, Garreau, Gallo, and some guests. We're here to discuss 2021-15, which is an ordinance to make appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures for the city of North Olmsted for the year ending December 31st, 2021, and declaring an emergency as amended. So I had a conversation today with Director Kopfer and with another one with Council President Jones. And what I'd like to do is I would like to move this out of committee and pass the amendments that Director Kopfer has before us, and then move it out of committee, and then pull it off of the agenda for tonight's meeting, so that we can have a committee of the whole and actually have a work session and maybe be able to come up with a document that we can pass without any problems. As of right now, we haven't got any amendments offered except for the ones offered by the director, and I just hate to see what happened last time happen again. So I think a work session, committee of the whole, I think it's an appropriate idea. And so at this time, if committee agrees, I'd like to make a motion that we recommend to all of council. I'm sorry, I'd like to make a motion that we amend. We can have a discussion after I make the motion, Mr. Kelly. Okay. I make a motion that we amend the ordinance to include the amendments that were offered by the finance director up to this point. And I'll ask for a second.
Second.
Any further questions, Mr. Kelly? You got a question? Go ahead.
So the amendments that came through today, I see $15,000 for community policing, $2,500 for outside services. That goes along with the community policing at that point. Is that correct?
Carrie? I'm sorry, Director Kopfer?
I don't know what you're looking at with the document, so I didn't see that. But I do believe that the changes that were made from as introduced to the permanent to where we added the law enforcement trust monies to be utilized, and the community policing, and the technical grant assistance program to small business. Mr. Massarolo, am I correct in that? Isn't that your assessment?
Chuck, go ahead. We're not hearing you.
Sorry about that. That's what I saw that has been emailed previously that had been forwarded to council earlier. So those are what I'm aware of, yes.
Okay, me too. We're in agreement.
So that would be correct, Mr. Kelly.
Okay, so then the community policing, the $15,000 is, what is that geared toward? Is that Safety Town, or is that, what other kind of community policing would that money be for?
Director.
Hold on one second. That's in the Those are donated monies, I believe. Is that in the endowment and grant fund that you're looking at?
I'm just going off of what was sent to us by Keith Sperling today. Was 3 items.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had appointments today, so I was not in the office. So let me just look real quickly. It is 7,500 for supplies in community policing and 7,500 in programs for community policing. And that includes like the stuff that they do in the schools as well. That's part of the community policing program.
Okay, thank you.
And those monies are donated. Those aren't monies that were from the general fund. Those are in the endowment and grant. So those are donations for those purposes for community
All right.
policing.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. Go ahead, Councilwoman Human.
Thank you, Mr. Schuman. I'd like, just for the record, to say that, I don't have all of the information I requested to be able to put forth amendments and any that I might want. So it's unfortunate that, we're going to look at only certain amendments and not others in the thought process of that, well, we don't have any others yet. We just haven't really gotten the information. I still am waiting for things. Thank you.
Well, I think the idea here is that we're going to have an opportunity to hash out some of these ideas. Carrie, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, as far as the finance department's concerned, we feel that we've answered the requests to many requests of council information to the best of our ability and to the best of, I think we've provided more than enough information. And so I think that, unless you can get specific questions that you are referring to and send them to me on a specific item that you already haven't answered and I asked and I've already answered several times, I would be more than happy to talk about different things that are in that budget so that you can make an informed decision at next meeting.
Do you have a question, Mr. Garreau? Did you?
No, not me.
Okay. Mr. Glassburn?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The amendment does contain the small business program, which I don't believe will have universal support. So if we were going to consider amendments tonight, I'd be inclined to amend that amendment later tonight. If we just want to hold the technical amendment or what's been called a technical amendment to the committee of the whole, then we don't need to go back and forth on this tonight.
That's the general idea here, that we're gonna we'll amend what we have in our hands so far. We'll go ahead and pull it off the agenda tonight, and then it'll be up to Council President to have a committee of the whole so we can have a little work session so we can come out with a document that we can all support, or the majority of us can support. Okay.
Well, I don't want to. I want to give fair warning. If we have this amendment offered, I don't believe it will pass, and then I will offer a second amendment to put the police items in.
Mr. Garreau?
Thank you. I think that what's happening tonight is the most that the committee can do is make a motion to recommend approval with proposed amendments. The actual formal amendment process would take place on the floor of council after, however, you've already had your work session, which would then be able to winnow down those amendments which have the support of the majority members. I think the point was to allow the administration to, one, prepare a final draft which includes those amendments that have the support of the majority members of council, as opposed to doing it on the floor of council where it's a little more challenging to be able to ensure that everything's in good form. So with the discussion I had with the president and with the clerk, that this would be the best opportunity for the committee to relieve itself, make a recommendation with the amendments as proposed by the administration in the original form. It simply gets reported out tonight, and then it will immediately be shifted over to a work session of the council of the whole, so that there's almost like a reconciliation within your own council to figure out exactly which ones of those will survive. So I think that nothing will be amended tonight, Mr. Glassburn. It's just a recommendation with amendments, and then in the end, we're going to find out whether 4 people agree with those recommendations. So that's the plan, and I hope it makes it a little more smooth and gives everybody an equal opportunity to participate in the process. Thank you, Mr. Glassburn.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make the, again, I've already made the motion. It's been seconded. So all in favor to recommend the amendments offered so far, say aye.
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 Aye, 3-0. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion that we recommend the budget to full council and ask for a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Question, Mr. Schuman?
sure.
This recommend the full council, this is going into the committee of the whole?
So what we're doing is we're recommending to full council that we're basically finance is finishing with this. We're offering this to the full council tonight. I'll make a motion to take it off the agenda. And during my report, I'll make a motion to take it off the agenda.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, 3-0. So I hope everybody understands what's going on here. That concludes the meeting. Thank you.